If you are still breathing, God is still working. And if God is still working, your story isn't over. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Word and Worship. My name is Loretta D. Thank you for tuning in. There are seasons in life when you look at where you are now and hardly recognize yourself. The confidence you once had feels distant. The passion you carried feels dim. Somewhere along the way, life hit hard. Failure, loss, burnout, or even your own choices left you feeling like you've fallen too far to recover. You may be functioning on the outside, but inside you're wondering, can I really come back from this? That question doesn't scare God. In fact, it's often the place where He begins His greatest work. When everything familiar has been shaken, God steps in to rebuild what truly matters. What you're standing in right now may feel like the aftermath, but it could also be the beginning. A comeback season is rarely loud or instant. It usually begins quietly in the heart, in the mind, and in the unseen places where God restores your identity before He restores your circumstances. Long before anything changes on the outside, God is doing a deeper work on the inside. He's healing what was wounded, strengthening what was weakened, and reminding you of who you are in Him. God is far more concerned with who you're becoming than how quickly things shift around you, because lasting restoration always starts within. Many people believe a comeback means regaining what was lost, returning to the place you once stood, or reclaiming what slipped through your hands. But God often does something far greater. He doesn't just return you to your former place, He refines you, heals you, and prepares you so that what comes next won't break you the way the past did. He builds wisdom where you were once naive, discernment where there was once trust without boundaries, and strength where there was once fear. This is why the process can feel slow, uncomfortable, and even frustrating at times. God isn't delaying you, He's rebuilding your foundation so you can stand stronger than before. Shame will try to convince you that your mistakes have permanently damaged your future. Fear will whisper that it's safer not to hope again, safer not to believe for more. But God's grace speaks louder than both. Your past does not have the authority to cancel God's purpose for your life. What broke you didn't disqualify you, it shaped you. The very places where you felt weakest are often the places God uses to reveal His strength more clearly. A comeback season requires trust, deep, surrendered trust. Trust that God sees what you can't see. Trust that He's working even when progress feels invisible and nothing seems to be changing yet. Trust that delay does not mean denial and silence does not mean abandonment. If God allowed you to survive it, it's because He intends to use it for your growth, for your healing, and for a purpose that will one day make sense. The story of Joseph is a powerful picture of a comeback season. Joseph had dreams from God, but before those dreams came to pass, his life fell apart. He was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and forgotten in prison. Year after year, it looked like God's promise would never come true. From the outside, Joseph's life looked like failure after failure. But behind the scenes, God was positioning him. Every pit, every prison cell, every setback was shaping him for the moment that God would elevate him. In a single day, Joseph went from prisoner to palace, from forgotten to favored. His comeback wasn't just about promotion. It was about purpose. What the enemy meant for harm, God used for good, not only to restore Joseph, but to save many lives. Joseph's story reminds us that setbacks do not cancel God's plan. Your comeback season may take longer than expected, but when God moves, he moves fully. If you're in a season where you feel overlooked, worn down, or like you're starting over from a place you never expected, don't lose heart. God is still writing your story, even in the quiet chapters. He sees every tear, every prayer whispered in weakness, and every step you've taken just to keep going. This is not your punishment season. It's your preparation season. What feels like rebuilding is actually God restoring you from the inside out, strengthening what was shaken, and healing what was wounded. So lift your head, breathe again, trust again, believe again, even if it feels fragile at first. God is not finished with you, and this chapter is not your conclusion. This is not the end of you. This is your comeback season. Amen. That was your word. I pray that you were blessed by it. Now, let's go before the Lord and worship.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been walking through the shadows, feeling pieces of me fade. What I used to be so sure of feels a million miles away, yeah. But in the quiet of the breaking, when I thought I lost it all, you were whispering in the ruins, I'm the one who makes you whole.